Immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medishare. Maybe you've heard switching to Medishare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm.
Sure.
Stay calm.
Now here's Bruno and Zach.
4 o'clock here in the Music City, so you know what time it is. Time for the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams coming to you live from the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, it's very simple. 615-844-5600. That is the number to call in. Phone lines wide open all day today here till 6 o'clock. Central Time, depending on where you're watching or maybe listening from. But we're so glad that you're alongside us here on this sweltering day as it reaches my car said 105 degrees as I was pulling into the affluent studios here of Nashville Sports Radio. It is hot outside, so much so that there was a gigantic fire on the other end of town that I saw, and I can only imagine that was just the world right now, and that's why it's so hot. How are you doing today, Bruno?
No, they were just listening to the show and just,
yeah. We have the same Nike shirts, but none of the same colors.
Good.
We wear the exact
One
same
of my
Nike
worst
shirts.
college memories was I drove two of my buddies to a Walmart, and we get out of the car and we look at each other, and we're all wearing the exact same shirt and shorts. We looked stupid, terrible. We just looked right at each other. We were like, "No way! How do we not notice this?"
Did you see that's like a trend now for like married couples? The women, like the wives, will all get together and trick their husbands into wearing the exact same shirt on like a night out, and they'll just one at a time show up in the same exact shirt, and they're like, "Oh no!"
Little things like that do make the night.
Make me happy when I see that. Ray Dosky, how are you doing?
I'm well. I see that you only guys got one shirt. Well, Bruno only has one shirt on today.
Yes, a one-shirt day, one-shirt Wednesdays.
Yes. Zach and Ray making something out of nothing. What's new? You guys aren't very talented at this. Leave the improv to the big boys, all right?
Do you call yourself big boy? Because quite simply, you are a big boy.
Pretty big boy.
You're like a fat baby. Like that's
man.
how like I think
those are fighting words.
I think
we're getting close to war.
Is because it's too close to home.
Am I the baby? Who's the one that cries?
I cry. I'm real men cry, right, Ray?
Yes.
Not me.
So we're ganging up on you today.
Dude, I will never cry, never go to therapy. I'll never do any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's been historically really good for people, I think, to repress all
I'm just kidding.
Usually
the only time I ever cry is when I missed on like athletic stuff. I cannot just that stuff was always pretty hard. But that was it. It was my life.
I can tell you guaranteedly that I'll cry every time when it gets to the end scene of Armageddon when Bruce Willis's character is talking to Liv Tyler's character and through like the 400 TV screens, and he's like, "I love you, baby," and then he's like, Ben Affleck's saying he's going to be the one to do it, And then he's like, rips his patch off, and he's like, give this to Harry. And then it's like, no.
Yeah.
I cry every time. Thinking about it right now makes me want to cry.
You couldn't make that sacrifice. I could do it.
No, I'm heroic. I'm heroic.
I'm just kidding. I'm not. You would be like,
you wouldn't even got on the rock.
No. You would volunteer to be heroic, and I would still push you out of the thing. Like, I would push you out. I'd be like, you got it.
Yeah, no, he said it. Let him die. Let him die on the rock and not get to see his entire life and flash in front of his eyes in a dark room like Bruce Willis on Armageddon.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good movie. Now I'm going to have to go watch Armageddon tonight.
I mean,
for sure gonna
is
happen.
the movie good or is that scene good?
The movie's good.
Okay.
Have you seen it before?
I've seen that scene. I haven't seen them. I'm sure I've seen the movie, but I was probably guys. I'm 26, so this is
I've
old.
seen the movie, but hold on.
This is an old movie.
I'm 29, 3 years older than Bruno.
30.
Right? I'm 29, definitely 29.
You're 30. I was 25, so you're 5 years older than me.
That makes no sense. The movie came out in 98, if I remember right.
I was 2 years old.
Cool. You have been, and 6 years ago you were 20, and that movie had been, whatever, 22 years old.
You're not asking the right question. You're not asking the right. What movies have you seen that were like when you were 2 years old or you weren't born? Is there a movie?
No, when I was 3 years old and I regained consciousness into this world, I was on a judo mat every day of my life. I didn't enjoy media, guys.
Ever.
No.
You never have. I'm going to have to ask Reagan this. That's going to be the only source I trust.
Ask him. He's proud of it. He's proud of it. He's like, yeah, we trained every day.
I'll excuse all of this. You need to go watch all of Armageddon. And then you need to watch Deep Impact because they both came out at the same time. They're like twin movies, but different companies.
It's like every 2012 movie, you know, the natural disaster movie.
Yeah, but see, like they both came out in 98, and it was the same idea. Asteroid's going to hit the Earth. We're all going to die, but
I'm surprised they haven't done post-nuclear war society movies yet. They've done games.
Have you heard of Mad Max?
No, I haven't.
Terminator?
Terminator, that's another one. Yeah.
Terminator nuclear war?
The first one shows of
that's the history of it. That's like, you know, machines taking over. And
Terminator 2 is the one you're thinking of, Judgment Day, where you got like Arnold Schwarzenegger dressed up as a biker taking on, you know.
The Terminator
T-1000.
movies were really good. I vaguely remember them, but I remember being impressed even though I was young. I was like, these are good movies.
If you like Terminator 2, you're going to love Armageddon Day. All right? You're going to love Armageddon all the way through because that is very... Was that Michael Bay who made Terminator? Who made Terminator? I can't remember who made it.
I want to say Michael Bay.
It might have been Michael Bay. Armageddon, he made Armageddon for sure.
I got to go to the trusted, not so trusted internet.
Also, you like the Transformer movies. Michael Bay made those as well. So there you go. I'm
not going to sit out here and be like Transformers movies were amazing, but I don't think
you enjoy watching them.
Yes. I don't think people going I don't think it makes you any smarter. I was listening to competitive radio, just trying to, you know, just constantly thinking about destroying all my enemies. I was listening to the radio and they were like, this is what it reminded me of. They had this guy on who was an ESPN writer for golf, something like that. And he was like, you know, some fans are more sophisticated and they can see what Live Golf is trying to do. And it's just like, what a great way to make your argument sound great. It's just to make everyone who agrees with you sophisticated. You know, I was like, what a great strategy. Just call everyone sophisticated.
That argument also is...
That's what everyone... Yeah, it's terrible.
Stupid.
I would have roasted that guy on air if he was on our station. But anyways...
And guess what? He never will be.
No.
And never should be.
No squares will be on this show. Anyways.
What a loser.
But that's what everyone who thinks they're like Transformers movies, you know, if you think it makes you smarter not liking those movies, you suck and have fun dying alone. That's where you're headed. You're going to die alone. Nobody likes you. Everyone that's with you is with you for an ulterior motive, career-wise, anything like that. You have no personality. That's all I have to say about that.
Tell me how you really feel on it.
I wish.
That was just the tip of the iceberg.
So if you don't like the Transformers movies, just please never talk to me.
There you go. 615-844-5600 if you do want to talk to him and you do like the Transformer movies.
James Cameron was the
James
gentleman.
Cameron.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's basically
Hey, speaking
Michael
of that, he's the guy who made Avatar, right?
Yes.
Why are they doing the second one now?
It's only been 40 years.
Why
We're going back to a blue world.
Why was it such a box office hit? It just Those are one of those viral things that don't make sense.
It was the first one that did like the
I've never seen
graphics that way.
Never
the
seen it.
CGI.
You never seen
I've
it?
never seen the movie.
Good for you. It's underwhelming.
Yeah,
I watched it one
That's what I've
time.
heard.
I was a kid, and I remember being in the theater for that movie. I was like, "What are we doing here?"
that it was big because of the CGI was so groundbreaking that they actually made it look somewhat real compared to like what it had been like the early 2000s Star Wars, like those CGI was terrible, and you could see it was just like 8-bit difference between all the things out there. But I don't know. It's Pocahontas. You ever seen Pocahontas? It's Pocahontas. Go watch
Alien
Pocahontas, and that's what Avatar is. So I can only assume Avatar 2 is going to be Pocahontas. Journey to a New World. So there you go. That's your synopsis for that. 615-844-5600
Oh,
if you want to jump in.
Sorry, you know
I
what it
keep
is?
trying to segue out of this.
One more good movie. The best animated kids movie that doesn't get enough credit is I can't even remember the
Polar
correct,
Express.
I can't even remember the correct name.
Big
for
Baby.
It. Is it Iron? Is it
Boss
Iron
Baby.
Is it Iron Giant?
Yes.
Is that what
Iron
it's called?
Giant. Yes.
So good. Superman.
Yes. That's a tremendous.
So good. Also,
Spielberg did that one.
what a story that this guy is like, let's nuke our own city in the United States. He's like, let's drop a nuclear bomb on our citizens. When I was a kid, I was like, this does not seem right.
That's another one that made me cry when he goes Superman and flies off
Yeah.
to get it. Like that one, it's like, how can you not cry? You don't have a soul. There's like 3 movies: the Armageddon scene, that scene, and then the scene at the end of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John Candy. If you don't cry at those, you don't have a soul. I truly believe that. You're not of this earth.
Last thing I'll say, I have a terrible admission. When it comes to like feel good animal movies with a tragic ending, I have a bad habit of like laughing because
The awkward tension.
Yes, I like when me and my buddies watched. I think it was Shiloh, and they shoot the dog at the end.
Spoilers.
Me and
Movie's been out forever.
me and my friends are the guys that just like we don't like why do they put that in the movie? We just burst out laughing, and it's always bad. Right?
Yeah, you don't mean to.
No, it's
just
like
the awkward. Like, what are we supposed to do here?
Yeah, Old Yeller, same thing. It's just
Did you ever watch I Am Legend?
yeah.
Yeah. He
No,
killed
for
his
some
dog
reason
there.
that
That
one
was sad.
for some reason that one hit different. That was a good movie.
That was a great movie. Although, I guess Will Smith's done. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. Do we still hate Will Smith? I think so. Anyway.
No, not if he keeps putting out banger movies. I don't care what Will Smith does. I don't care if his wife is with other dudes. I do not care. Keep putting out.
Will Smith clearly does, though. So,
Hey,
he did not say it.
Whatever demons keep him putting out banger movies, I'm fine with. I don't watch Will Smith. I don't watch Will Smith to know what he does. I don't care what golfers do. I don't care. Just do the thing.
Do the thing.
Dance,
you're good
monkey,
at.
dance.
Yeah. All right. Let's now talk about the thing that Dan Schneider doesn't want to do.
Let's segue out. I mean, how long was that?
That was a good
12
long
minutes.
while.
That's
12
not-
a good
that's not
solid
bad.
12 minutes of movie talk on this summer. And this is the thing. We're officially in summer. We're day 2 of summer now. You're gonna get things like these because that's just how it is. What do you want us to break down the Cardinals taking on?
Guys,
the Twins?
I get it. We're in a recession. If I have to see on Twitter one more post, because the congressmen are asking Dan Snyder, or they're asking Roger Goodell hilarious questions,
Which we're gonna play here in a
and
bit.
you know what? Every single question has under it. What about inflation, guys?
You're gonna hear a real trend here.
You don't know what inflation is. You don't know. You don't know you don't know the subtleties of it. I don't know. I'm not going to try and know. Stop asking stupid questions like that. Have fun a little bit. Crack open a cold one while you're at work. Hide it. Put it in. Put it in.
Have you
one of
ever
those-
seen like those Coca-Cola sleeves
Abs-
that people put in?
That's
They're like,
exactly what I was going to say. Put it in a sleeve and get drunk at work. Have some fun in your life. Stop it.
Oh, it's always a good time to bring up parody. All right. So let's dive into these. So for anyone who doesn't know, and Ray gets to be as the Washington Commanders fan here recently, you get to take the brunt of this because Dan Schneider and the Washington Commanders just will not get out of the news cycle. They will do anything they can to try to get out, but it's like quicksand right now. They're getting sucked in at every little motion that they make. They're getting deeper and deeper into it here. Today, the Congress deposition started for all this questioning of what's happened with what we talked about over, what was it? It was in the middle of the season with John Gruden first getting fired, when the NFL started probing in to look at all these emails,
Yep.
and then John Gruden gets fired. And we
The
questioned.
NFL investigated itself.
And then we said, what did this have to do with anything John Gruden related? Now, I'm not discounting what John Gruden did. I'm just saying the relevance of it was so out of the blue that we were like, what?
And it was a long time ago when he sent those emails, like near legal statute of limitations for criminal activity.
2011 wasn't it, or 2010, something like that? Long time.
Earlier.
It had been a long time.
Yeah.
And we are all questioning, like, what? They had to fire somebody, and somehow John Gruden got thrown to this. Well, now Congress is getting their grubby little fingers all in this because they're wanting to know what's going on.
If I'm in the Senate, the first thing I'm doing is probing the Washington Commanders. It has to be one of the most fun stories you can do as a senator.
Yeah, this is so. Dan Schneider reportedly paid $1.6 million to cover up a 2009 sexual allegation.
Billionaire do something absolutely. I mean, that's the problem with people with money. I mean, they live outside of reality, right? Our mine and Ray's laws aren't the same laws as these guys. They constantly get away with stuff like this. I mean, it's constantly associated that businessmen are very smart, very money motivated. They're not. I mean, a lot of the times they were at one point, and you get this billionaire type money, and they turn into idiots surrounded by yes men, right? Happens to Sean Watson, Dan Snyder's one of them, Vince McMahon's one of them. I mean, just doing absolutely ridiculous things. Like,
I mean, we're literally on back-to-back
career-ending things,
back-to-back weeks of the exact same story, just mad-libbing at this point.
back to back.
Yeah, just
Sean Watson, Vince McMahon, Dan Snyder. Who's next?
I mean, we're like you. It is. It's a sexual allegations Mad Lib. Put in person's name, how they did it, dollar amount they paid to keep the hush money in. I mean, we're really getting into that world right now.
If anything, I'm learning is hush money does not work.
Clear. I'm going to say
I was
thinking that too.
If you're a multimillionaire, stop thinking hush money is going to work. It's not. Your career, they're coming for you.
They're going to come for you. I wonder if it's. I mean, I'm not trying to give tips or anything on how to get through this stuff, but paying the millions of dollars clearly doesn't work. So why are you just wasting millions of dollars when you just pump that towards the lawyer to fight all this? I guess.
Well, if you pump out that much money, because it's kind of like what Bruno was saying, these owners are just kind of just naive about stuff like that. They believe that everyone has a price. I mean, that's what it is.
They think box of pizza rolls cost $20.
Yeah.
They don't know what real life is.
Yeah.
Right.
So when
inflation, it does now.
So when allegations comes like this, and there's some like guilt that's there, I'm pretty sure there's a contract that's written up about like, hey, look, you have to do a cease and desist. Like once you're paid, that's it. Because look at the Deshaun Watson thing. 20 of the 24 cases have been taken care of. So no, you're not going to see any more New York Times, the Post, all that stuff. You won't see any articles about that anymore. Now the other 4 that are outstanding, who knows? That needs to be defined as well. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that these owners are writing up a contract that says, okay, enough's enough. Once it's done, it's done. And that's not the first time I've heard about him trying to. 2007. There was one in 2010 that apparently he offered other cheerleaders hush money as well because of what happened when that whole cheerleader, I forget her name, when she came out and spoke to the Washington Post about what was going on behind Washington football team, if you will, in terms of everyday business to business and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been plenty of questions. This is also a situation, if there's smoke, there's fire. I think this is 100% a burning blaze right now.
Do you know, guys, I'm having an aneurysm right now. You know how stupid you have to be to get in this much trouble as a billionaire? You have to be the biggest, worst person on the planet. Where's one Dan Snyder supporter? Bill Cosby had armies of them. He was a terrible person. Dan Snyder doesn't have one person in his corner. Everyone's like, let's watch this train crash.
It's funny you say that because we're gonna take a break here in a second. When we come back, we're gonna keep talking about this Dan Schneider situation. Up in Congress right now, Roger Goodell has been questioned. It's all over the place. We're gonna play some different snippets. You can make the argument that there are tons of Dan Snyder supporters because there's a lot of people in this committee meeting and in these questioning halls. I don't think it's going well. I don't know also the process of these. I'm not going to act like I'm a lawyer and I can, I know how these are set up.
Hey, man, you know who else doesn't know the process of them? This congressman, because they're asking about Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that one as well. But we're gonna listen to these here in just a little while. The first impression I had, and I'll probably reinstate this when we come back, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous that we're seeing Washington football team, and Roger Goodell it feels like he's just a little kid in a room right now. I mean, he's on Zoom, and he's just sitting here being asked questions, which I don't understand. He never answers any of them.
Hey, I don't know why we're still doing the Zoom stuff. Is it a COVID thing?
I don't know.
I'm over
I somewhat think it's just like ease.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't have to fly all the way out here. Just jump on Zoom
Roger
now.
Goodell is super multimillionaire.
He has an NFL plane, and I imagine it's probably plural planes. I can only imagine he's got multiple of them. We're going to listen to when we come back. We got to take our first break, though, so be looking that on the other side. 615-844-5600 if you want to get into these talks about Dan Snyder. We want to hear from you. Back after this here on the Afternoon Stretch.
Good afternoon. Still very slow go. Vietnam vets going outbound at New Shackle Island up in Hendersonville this afternoon from a crazy-looking wreck that's been up there for a couple of hours. Traffic's busy. I-40 out through Mount Juliet, 40 out into Kingston Springs area towards Dixon County. Lots of THP units out in that area. Be careful. Hey, Ripley's has a great summer camp experience for the kids coming up. Check it out at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now even multiple sports. It's called Same Game Parlay Plus. You can only find them on FanDuel. Combine player props you love with your favorite baseball home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. If you don't want to build your same game parlay, check out their popular Same Game Parlay section where you can join the bets other users are jumping on. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code Greg P to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code Greg P.
Use the promo code Greg P.
See, and from the Peanuts section, John Burton.
Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
Were you exposed to hazardous materials while serving in the military and have an illness or condition as a result?
If so, you may be eligible for VA benefits and services. Whether you need health care or want to file a disability compensation claim related to military exposures, VA is here to help. Visit va.gov/military-exposures to learn more and apply today.
You served your country. Now let VA serve you.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, now also located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Reward yourself for surviving Nashville traffic with fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. And free Wi-Fi, so you don't have to work from home. Number one in customer service. You made it through the traffic. Reward yourself with a perfect pick-me-up at Bongo Java. Fresh coffee, delicious treats, great atmosphere. Open 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. daily. Bongo Java at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio WNSR Skyscam forecast throughout the afternoon. Sunny and hot, high of 99. Heat index making that feel like 102. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms before midnight tonight. Partly cloudy, low 70s, and sunny on Thursday, high of 92. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on Nashville Sports Radio. I'm WNSR's Joe Gardner.
Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back. The afternoon stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studios. If you want to get in, 615-844-5600. Been talking about the Dan Snyder situation. We're going to get into some of those videos. If, once again, you want to jump on the phone lines, we want to talk to you. Let's go to Steve in Nashville. Steve, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I just wanted to say, first off, I just now stopped laughing that last night, listening to the Braves game, that y'all had Bruno do a read on baseball.
Yeah, the irony of the station doesn't sleep on him.
I see the irony that y'all had him do that, and I could hear it in his voice how disgruntled he was. But it was a great read, Bruno.
Bruno's not happy that you brought that up.
No, anytime someone compliments anything good, whether I hate it or not, it's good. End all be all, it's good.
Did it make you want to tune into the show even more so at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Monday through Friday?
Of course it did.
Hey, guys, Bruno Reagan here. Baseball needs to die.
Oh, hey, two owner situation I want to bring up. First, when the Clippers, were they forced to sell when that guy said the racist stuff, or how did that play out?
It's a good question. I have to remember. Because they sold it to Steve Ballmer, right?
Yeah. I don't know if they were. I think they were they did force him to sell.
Donald Sterling?
Donald Sterling, yeah. They forced Sterling to sell. Yeah, so yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I believe they did. That was the other owners of the NBA that got together. And it's the same thing the NFL could possibly do to Dan Snyder.
And the other thing, that he's not a baseball owner, but I just find it kind of find it ironic that baseball wouldn't let Mark Cuban buy the Cubs because they didn't want him in there. He's never really gotten in trouble, has he? Just he's kind of whatever, talks a lot or gets on the sideline of the Mavericks. But I don't think he's a bad person. Seems like he's a good owner for the Mavericks.
I mean, we were saying, I was telling Zach earlier, he might be the worst billionaire on the planet. He doesn't, he has no, as far as I've heard, he has no issues. He has that new website where you can buy
discounted drugs, so like actual market price instead of.
And I've seen multiple reviews of it saying it's real. So he's the worst billionaire ever.
He's doing all this nice stuff with his money. It's stupid.
Exactly.
I don't know. That Mark Cuban just he's going to come with a set of attitude, and he's going to, he's got his billions of dollars, and he's going to tell you to shut the F up, and he's not going to be afraid to say that. And I imagine that's why they didn't want to do it. And I don't know. That's very classic baseball of you.
They're not all a bunch of choir boys up there owning these teams. I can guarantee you that.
No.
I know that.
Like Bruno always says, having billions of dollars sure does keep a lot of people quiet about stuff that these guys are doing on the country club or their private planes. So there's a lot of hypocrites in those rooms. I can say that much.
Yeah.
No, the money's poison, man. And if you especially the more you get, the faster you get it, the more it influences you, kind of. It's a tough deal, man. A lot of these billionaires are just distorted from reality.
Because they don't have to.
No,
I don't care.
Yeah.
If they get arrested,
Especially
whatever.
If they were born into it and didn't make it,
God, yeah,
those are the worst. And on that, real quick, I thought, did the Titan, that one Adams daughter, did she ever sell her portion of the Titans?
Not. You're talking about Amy? Not Amy.
No, her sister was trying to sell like her and whatever, because I guess they had a bunch of businesses. She was trying to sell them all as a group, and her portion of the Titans was in that. This has been a couple of years. I guess it didn't happen.
Yeah, not that I know of. I'll look into there just to make sure. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
I'm sure we would have heard about it, or if the Haslams would have bought it, or
talking about Susie. Yeah.
It sounds like apparently she only owns half of it, and the remaining half of the family owns the rest of it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would get tricky. So I think you guys need to group together and buy it.
I mean, I'm down for it. My first thing I'll do for the Tennessee Titans as acting owner is get rid of the uniforms they have right now and get brand new ones, because those things suck.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Never have been.
First thing I would do as the Titans owner is fire every coach, everybody there that was there when I was getting recruited. And fire them. Fire them, blackball them as much as I can from the NFL.
Ruin their futures.
Did they tease you and say you were on their board, or?
I went to their local day and worked out with them, and hey, I don't blame them. They weren't the only team that didn't like me. No team didn't like me.
Hey, you got a shot. All right, boys, anchor down.
Appreciate it, Steve. What do you got there, Ray?
So there's an update to what I said. Apparently I was wrong. So ownership of the Tennessee Titans is remaining with the Adams family, with Susie Adams Smith agreeing to sell her shares of the team to the family-controlled KSA Industries Incorporated. Apparently, Amy Adams Strunk will hold 50% share, with the other 50% held by Kenneth Adams, I want to say the fourth, Barclay Adams, and Susie Lewis. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Roman numerals, man.
Yeah, they still all own the family.
Yeah.
Or the family.
So Susie is out.
Yeah. She just wanted to get out. Yeah, I think I remember that. When did that happen? That happened like
it was December 21st, 2020. That's when the report came out.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
I remember that. That was during COVID. She was like, I'm going to sell my shares, baby. I'm getting out while the getting out's good. I'm going to Morocco. I don't know where she went. I'm just trying to figure out where do billionaires go to hang out. They got to be
France.
all one. France?
That's where Dan Snyder is right now.
Is that where he is? Ooh,
he's on a luxury yacht in France.
All right, let's get into more of these Dan Schneider. We hadn't played one yet. First one we're gonna play. It's from Josina Anderson.
I can tell you where rich people don't go is South America.
Larksville.
Same thing.
This one is the Congresswoman, Chairwoman Carolyn Maloney. She's talking about basically what we talked about yesterday, which was Dan Schneider just keeps doing everything he can to not go to this and not to go to these depositions. Well, that's going to be changing here soon. Let's go ahead and play the first one, Ray.
Specific to the fact that the culture at the Washington football team for too long was toxic and incorrect. We made a commitment to protect their identities. We are going to continue to do that and make sure that we protect
Commissioner,
that for not only this investigation, but also...
Respectfully, Mr. Commissioner, reclaiming my time, because we have limited time. You have claimed you are withholding this information because you are protecting the privacy of witnesses. But many victims, even in this room, and witnesses have publicly stated that they want this information to be released. And the NFL has made other investigations public, and I thank you for that, including the 2014 investigation into the workplace misconduct at the Miami Dolphins. Respectfully, Mr. Commissioner, for full accountability, we must have transparency. Mr. Snyder, of course, has refused to testify today. We thank you for making the Dolphins report public. We'd like to have the Wilkinson's report made public. And I'm asking you, what specific steps will the NFL take to hold Mr. Snyder accountable for refusing to testify before Congress?
Madam Chairwoman, I do not have any responsibility for whether he appears before Congress. That is not my choice. That
Okay,
is his
let
choice.
me stop you right here. Mr. Snyder has not been held accountable. His refusal to testify sends a clear message that he is more concerned about protecting himself than coming clean with the American people. If the NFL is unwilling or unable to hold Mr. Snyder accountable, then I am prepared to do so. That is why I am announcing now my intent to issue a subpoena for the testimony of Mr. Snyder for a deposition next week. The committee will not be deterred in its investigation to uncover the truth of workplace misconduct at the Washington Commanders.
So next week, we have the shows planned. This is going to be directly headline news all week next week when this happens.
Everywhere. And we're going to have takes, baby. It's not going to be, oh, Dan said this. The government
Hard
said
take.
this. Hard take, baby.
Flaming white hot dragon takes.
If there's something I love, it's making fun of billionaires.
It really is fun.
Super fun.
And apparently it's fun to do in Congress. I mean, first off, what the NFL...
There's nothing more. I mean, there's nothing better. Dan Snyder's just like, why are you attacking me? I'm on your side. We're the elites.
Dan Schneider. Yeah, it's like the Spider-Man meme. They're just pointing at each other. Dan Schneider, or not Dan Schneider, but Roger Goodell, in there, what he said there at the beginning, and then what she questioned right after that, is that she said, or he said that is, we wanted to keep this private for the safety of the women who were involved, to protect them. And then she said, no, they want to be heard. They want their voice heard. What you want to do is protect the NFL's image. You want to protect your bosses, which are the NFL owners, and that's all they want to do. And that comes back to what we talked about with John Gruden. They needed a scapegoat because they found the dirty laundry.
And now you're seeing the strategy of the NFL. A strategy as old as time. Roger Goodell, why can't you make Dan Snyder show up? I can do that. We're actually 32 businesses. I'm just, the head of the big. Yeah, I mean I'm the head of the skeleton essentially. That's what he's alluding to. He can't make Dan do it. Dan is you have to. So she gave Roger Goodell a chance, I guess, to save face, which of course he's not going to do because he's employed by the NFL. So he's going to defend the ownership at all costs. And then she knew the entire time he was going to say no. She was going to issue the subpoena.
I don't know how these things work either. Once again, I've never been in a court situation or anything. I mean,
I'm not a lawyer, but I'll give my best shot.
You can represent me at least.
I went to Vanderbilt.
There you go. I don't know. I mean, he never answers anything. I was watching this all on C-SPAN. Boring, by the way. But he never answers one damn thing the entire time.
That's the best part about every single time a person of notice has testified at Congress. I mean, off the top of my head, Mark Zuckerberg, Martin Shkreli, Roger Goodell. No one answers a single question.
They answer nothing. They're simply
awesome.
like, oh, it's not my fault, someone else's fault.
I want to be there one day. Hillary Clinton, one day I want to be in front of whatever committee and just say whatever I want, because clearly there's no legal obligation. Legal obligation to do anything. Comply, not at all.
That's what we all loved about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. We got to hear about Amber Heard pooping on the bed. Like that was.
And we learned she just does it everywhere.
Yes, it was great. We got to learn these things. We're learning nothing. We're just seeing classic corporate media shilling out that is just like, I plead the fifth all the way through. I want answers. I want the truth. All right? That's what I want to know.
Can you handle it?
I don't know. That's why I think Roger Goodell's like, I don't think you could handle the truth. What we found, it's really messed up. Dan Snyder's a terrible
the truth's
person.
really messed up, so much so that it's better on our end to try and cover it up and just keep Dan in power than oust him.
So, with that being said, a lot of this, all those Congress members up there are not exactly on the board or on board of having this committee at all. They think this is a waste of time. I don't know if it's going well or not going well. I really don't know yet, because we're off to the races now, and I have no idea if it's going well. This next clip that you're going to hear is Representative Virginia Fox, who comes on and basically just starts blasting this. Ray, whenever you're ready.
Echo the ranking member's comments today. This administration is doing all it can to annihilate America. It's like Nero fiddling while the country burns. It's been widely reported that approximately 72% of Americans think the United States is on the wrong track. Chairwoman, with unanimous consent, I'd like to submit this NBC News poll for the record.
So ordered.
Thank you. Are we looking into what caused the 40-year high inflation rate? No. Are we examining how the FDA and Biden administration failed to address the baby formula shortage? No. Are we examining how and why teens are purchasing illicit drugs on social media, leading to a record number of overdoses? No. What about the crisis at the southern border? Are we doing anything to address the massive humanitarian and national security catastrophe? No. Instead, this is another day when this committee failed to do what the American people have elected us to do. Last week we had a hearing on pet collars. Today, a hearing over a single NFL team about workplace conduct that occurred years ago.
Roger
we just listened to the person who invented gaslighting. She is old enough to do it.
No, I don't care about any of that. I kill this. Roger Goodell's sitting there on the Zoom call like, what's happening? Roger Goodell's just, are they about to blame this all on the NFL? What are we bringing this up for? I don't. First off, look, do I somewhat agree with the idea of like Congress is looking into, maybe it's that bad. I feel like there's some of it that I'm like, why is Congress looking into this? This should be something that, I don't know who looks into who, but there is part of this where I'm just like, I don't know. It does seem weird that you got Roger Goodell on a Zoom call talking about Dan Snyder and the Washington football team. It seems like something that should have been internally handled with the NFL, and I feel like because they tried internally handling it, it did not work out super well, and there's still problems there, and I'm guessing that's pretty much why we're doing this now. But that is how this started. That's how these proceedings start. Can you imagine being Roger Goodell, just commissioner of the Football League?
I mean, he heard that statement. He's just like, yeah, I agree. Obviously, you know, he's happy he heard that.
Yeah, he's like, yes.
Hey,
let's
if you
not do
think
this.
that woman, what was her name?
Virginia Fox, Representative Virginia Fox.
If you think, listen to me right now, because I'm the only one here that cares about you, and will tell you the truth. If you think Virginia Fox cares even a little bit about you paying twice as much for milk, you are, you're lost. You're gone. She does not care about you. She does not care about inflation. She does not care about anything. She cares about whatever lobby she represents. That's the nature of the United States political system. Everyone has their role to play. She's playing her role. If you think she wasn't here, she would solve inflation. You think Congress would solve inflation? No.
Well, that's the point. We're talking about this on a sports show because this is supposed to be all about sports.
So just shut up, Virginia Fox, and give us the story we want to hear.
What's going on?
The people want distractions. I want to know I want to know who's Dan. Where's Dan Snyder? Where did he bury the bodies? I want to know.
That's what I'm hoping eventually comes out here.
So she basically deflected.
I don't know if she deflected.
She went left a little bit?
I don't think so. I think what she's trying to do is it's just a political tactic, right? She knows she's going to have the world watching this, and
I mean,
they're using it as like a political tactic.
It's an appeal to what the American people want to hear, but we all know. Excuse me. Obviously, we don't all know because there's thousands of people on Twitter echoing her statement. It's like, why don't we fix inflation instead of talking about this? Like, hey, man. If only it were that easy.
Yeah. You give me $20 and a good sports bet, I'll fix inflation. Give me a good parlay.
You cash at me $20, I'll send you back double your money in an hour. It's a game of trust. So if you trust me, I'll give you the money.
I wrote a book. What's a Steve Martin joke? I wrote a book, How to Turn $1 Million in Real Estate into $25,000 cold hard cash.
One of my good friends I grew up with I'll say his parents, so that way try and keep it as broad. His parents in Congress. That guy cannot care less about anything any of us go through. And that's how they all are. Surprise. That's how they all are.
We're going to go to a break. Micah Melrose will be first up when we come back. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. We want to hear from you. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. It's still a struggle trying to get up through Hendersonville from an earlier wreck. Everybody's staring at it. It's Vietnam vets going outbound at New Shackle Island. Again, it's been backed up there about the last, 2 hours, maybe longer. 440 eastbound has gotten pretty heavy up by Nolensville Pike. Lots of radar through parts of Wilson County this afternoon. Be careful. Foothills Mercantile Company creates handmade gifts in the Smoky Mountains. Check them out on Facebook at Foothills Mercantile Company in Wares Valley. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
I have 2 dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. Always itching. His paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time. DINOVITE.com. Dinovite is nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dinovite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dinovite dog, and he has 0 issues today. He won't eat his food without Dinovite. When I get out the Dinovite, my dogs actually salivate, like I'm getting them a treat. They drool over it. Dinovite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
Switching and saving with Geico is easy, so you're free to ponder life's big questions. Like, if a person can get discombobulated, does that mean the rest of the time they're just combobulated? Are we humans always in a state of combobulation? Until, of course, something dramatic happens and we are discombobulated for a while. Then we go back to being combobulated. Yeah, that's probably how that works. Switch and save with Geico. It's easier than you think.
It's a Bill King Show.
Whether you like Alabama or not, you're witnessing an unparalleled, unprecedented run. You're living it. You're watching it. You have memories that are deep of it. To be that dominant, you don't get to see that through the years that much. But this right here is crazy. This right here is off the chart. Can't believe it's happening, and they're not slowing down.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. We want to hear from you. Let's go to Mike in Melrose. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. I'm actually not in Melrose. I'm heading to Strike and Spare, Tusculum Lane. So,
hey.
Anybody looking for something fun to do tonight? Come on out.
Got the air conditioning on? That's all I care about right now.
It is cranked up. But actually, you can't come from 7 to 9 to be full with the league going on. Anyway, you can come later. Let's talk a little baseball. I want to go back in time for you, Zach. We were talking about the 85 World Series.
Go Royals.
I know that's before your time. How many players can you name from that team? Any?
Jeff King, was he the first baseman at that time?
No, I do not think so.
George Brett. Yeah, George Brett. Brett. I can't ever say his last name. The pitcher. How do you say his last name?
Saberhagen.
Thank you.
Saberhagen.
That's about it right now. That's all I can get off the top of my head.
The closer was Dan Quisenberry, the submariner.
Quisenberry.
He had a center fielder, Willie Wilson, second baseman, Frank White, and a shortstop who was not that good, but he became a cult hero on the Letterman show, Buddy Biancalana.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, I went to the first 2 games of that series. Now, the Royals lost the first 2, came back, and do you know what made that series so famous? It happened in Game 6.
It was the play at first.
Correct. It was a blown call. He was definitely out. Cardinals would have won. World Series chance. Well, sure enough, the Royals come back and win it, and then they blow out the Cardinals in Game 7. So you could better be glad they didn't have replay back then.
Well, look, the way I look at it as a Royals fan, that call stands and is right to this day. It's my favorite thing to say to any Cardinal fan out there, that anytime I bring that up there, they go, that was one of the worst calls in baseball history. I said, see, glass half empty, glass half full. I think it's one of the best calls in baseball history because the Kansas City Royals ended up winning the World Series from it. So it all worked out in the end.
Well, there was also another famous blown call. Was a game that the umpire called a similar play, and it cost the guy a perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
About maybe 10 years ago, Galarraga would have had a perfect game, and the umpire said, nope, he missed the bag.
Yep. No, I remember that.
Last thing I got for you, I just saw this on TV. I didn't research it like Tony from Nolensville presumes he does. 2 teams, this will be Oklahoma, if they win the men's World Series and the women, they'll be the first school to ever do that.
Oh, wow.
Two other schools came close. They were in it but did not win it. Can you name those 2 by chance?
Florida?
That's correct. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. I was 17 in Florida.
And the other one, is it? See, I feel like I might just be being biased to the SEC. Is it LSU?
UCLA. You had a few of the letters right.
Well, I tried.
One last thing I got one last real cool trivia. There's 5 schools that have won championships: baseball, football, basketball. We just named 2 of them: Florida, UCLA.
Oh my gosh!
I believe the other 3 are all from the Big Ten.
Well then, Ohio State.
Correct.
Michigan.
Correct.
And I mean, Purdue, I wouldn't say Purdue. Is it Purdue?
No, I'm actually blanking on the other
Wisconsin?
one myself, but I believe there's 5.
Well, Wisconsin's never won a natty.
I don't even think they have a baseball team. I'll have to look that one back up.
Well, you get us back on the other way around with that one.
I mean, the second you said Big Ten, I stopped caring. So
I believe there's 5 teams that have won all three major sports.
hey, if you're gonna ask a trivia question, you gotta have the answer for us.
I didn't say I made it up. I didn't say I made it. I saw it a few years ago when Florida won in baseball.
Mike, I like it. Bring us more trivia questions. I was talking about before the show how I love trivia questions.
All right, y'all take care.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, Mike, just make up more stuff. Who knows?
Who else would have been in the big? I mean,
Michigan State,
maybe Michigan State.
They never won a football natty.
I don't think they have.
Northwestern.
No.
I don't think anyone from the Big Ten other than Ohio State has ever won a football natty.
Well, see, there could have been one in like the 20s. You know what I mean? Like it's. I know. Trust me. Doesn't count to me. Anything before the 60s.
It's not Indiana.
Yeah. They could have. Indiana could have. I mean, they could have. It would have been basketball. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to remember that myself. And now it's just gonna make me look it up in the break just to know what it is.
I hate when baseball fans add baseball to the big three, the baseball, football. It's baseball, basketball, or excuse me, football, basketball.
Freudian slip.
Well, excuse me for having to talk about baseball on this God forbidden station. All the callers are like, "Oh, you love baseball."
What's a sport? Well, I know. You jump on. I feel like now it's gotten to the point, Ray, that he's just never gonna like baseball because of that reason. How many people that call in that love baseball and they're like, he's like, nope. Now I have to be this guy for the rest of my life. Do you think that's right, Ray?
I think there's something there.
There's a piece of him that does like
there's
it.
definitely something there.
Yeah,
we're gonna make Bruno love baseball.
No. I don't have to believe. I don't have to genuinely dislike baseball because you all love it so much. I'll never love it. There you go.
You'll never say it.
I mean, until eventually, Daddy Dollar Bill comes sliding by.
Have you ever been to a pro game?
Yeah, I've been to a few pro games. Been to Cardinal games. Been to Rays games. Been to some AAA games.
Sounds stuff like that.
Was it torture?
I mean, no. I just get on my phone. It's chill. You know what I'm saying? It's like sitting at a bench. I mean, sit at a bench in the middle of New York. More entertaining than a baseball game.
False. Also,
I can't. Well, that's hard to argue with.
Going to a baseball game, the whole fun of it is like, it's the whole the food aspect of it. It makes it a great time. And if there's one thing that I know about you from just looking at you is you like food.
New York's got plenty of it.
Don't act like baseball games are this like food experience.
What is your favorite food to eat, Bruno? Don't answer. I know your answer. Gas station hot dogs. You know what?
Not true.
What baseball is filled with?
Simply
hot
not
dogs.
true. Simply not true.
Your co-host is telling you it's not true. You don't know your co-host.
I think whatever he's going to say, I'm going to say
bad.
It's actually terrible. You don't know my favorite food. It's easily sushi.
Oh, you guys are gonna break up.
Sushi is your favorite?
Easily sushi.
Every time he talks about sushi, he talks about sushi all the time.
He talks about hot dogs, and you know it way more.
He does that, but he doesn't. But sushi is
guys, that's a dark part of my life. Can we stop talking about it?
See, there he goes. Eating the gas. I tried to tell you the gas station hot dogs are terrible.
McDonald's nuggets.
Look, with sweet and sour sauce,
hard to argue with.
It's hard to argue with.
You can't.
I'll take Slim Chickens any day of the week over it, but we've all had that day come. We all had that day that, you know what I want? Unfortunately, that's what I want. All right, let's go to a break. We come back. We got to play the video where Dave Portnoy is brought up in these trials now because it's just hilarious. Back after this here on the Afternoon Stretch.
Good afternoon. Still crawling along in Sumner County as they try to clear that crash in Hendersonville on Vietnam Vets going outbound at New Shackle Island. It's just crazy slow now over in the Hendersonville. It's flooded a lot of traffic in that area as well. 65's already slow trying to get up to Vietnam Vets, continuing north of the city. Hey, Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, it's home of the world famous cotton candy wine. Check them out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
I'm Kerry Murphy with the Final Lap NASCAR update, and this past weekend, the Truck Series stood alone in the NASCAR world as the only series running. And wouldn't you know it, on Father's Day weekend, and Todd Gilliland won for his dad, David. Here's proud dad and team owner, David Gilliland.
It was nerve-wracking for sure, but just really proud of him and what he's been able to accomplish. This deal didn't come together till Monday, so literally, 5 days ago. So, just all happened kind of fast. It's Todd's off weekend, and he wants to do nothing but race. So we're really special about that, but it is definitely a special win from the ownership side to win with Todd. And I thought the racing was great tonight. I hope you guys liked it. I was just talking. I think the race was absolutely, obviously better than last year, and track prep was great. And I think Todd and all the guys put on a great show.
And more from Dad David Gilliland on his son's win this past weekend at Knoxville.
The 17 has been kind of, there's been a lot of other people drive it this year, so Knoxville has been open, and so we're trying to get some sponsorship together to try and run the race. Brett Stevens with Frontline Enterprises has been a sponsor and supporter of Todd and myself since we started DGR, so 5 or 6 years. So they stepped up and came on board and helped make this deal happen. So they believe in Todd and us, and so to come here and bring him to Victory Lane tonight was pretty special.
You're on the final lap.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DRAG for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DRAG for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code DRAG.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Titleist, featuring the new Titleist Voki SM9 wedges, their most superior handcrafted wedge design ever. The new SM9 grooves are cut to maximize the interaction of ball and face for lower flight and higher spin. Get precise distance and trajectory control like a pro with the SM9s. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studios. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. Mike called in. It was California, correct? That was
Stanford.
California and Stanford.
California and Stanford.
Which, who cares?
Mike did because he looked it up.
Well, I'm talking about California and Stanford.
And called back to tell us.
Any football championship they have, as decreed by Bruno, not legitimate.
Do you think they'll ever get another one?
No.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it really does. It's looking rough over there for them for that. All right, I want to play one more video from this this Congress attack on Washington football team, Commanders, whatever their name is. There's been an ongoing rivalry with Dave Portnoy and Roger Goodell and Jim
It's
Jordan.
very one-sided. I mean, Roger Goodell doesn't mention or
mention
or acknowledge the man at all, and Dave Portnoy doesn't let it go.
No. Jim Jordan loves to talk about is going to bring it up. Let's go ahead and play it, Ray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner, you believe in the First Amendment, don't you?
I do.
I mean, all parts of it, all rights we have. Your right to practice your faith, your right to petition the government, right to assemble, freedom of press, freedom of speech. You believe in all that.
Yes, Congressman.
Why do you ban Dave Portnoy from NFL games?
Pardon me, I couldn't hear your question.
Why do you ban Dave Portnoy from NFL games? He's a journalist. In fact, he's a sports journalist. Why is he banned?
Congressman, I'm not familiar with that issue. I'm happy to check with my staff, but I'm not aware of that. Yes.
Well, I think we're all aware of that. We're all aware of that. I mean, he interviewed the President of the United States, interviewed President Trump in the White House. It seems to me if you can get into the White House, you should be able to get into a football game, particularly as a member of the press and a member of the sports press. You don't know anything about that?
I don't, sir.
Do you agree with the Washington Redskins' decision to fine Jack Del Rio $100,000?
That was the decision that was made by Coach Rivera. Again, as I stated earlier, they are responsible for monitoring and managing their own workplace. He made that decision on his own. I did not speak to him. I have great respect for Coach Rivera. He made this decision for reasons I'm sure that he thought were important.
I appreciate I appreciate all that, Commissioner, but that's not what I asked you. I said, do you agree with the Washington Redskins' decision to fine Jack Del Rio $100,000?
It's tremendous. It's tremendous the way they just ask these things.
It's tremendous how he doesn't answer a single one.
Doesn't
yes
answer
or no
one
question.
of them.
I mean, that was a 1,000-word essay.
Oh, that's so funny. So funny. But the whole David Portnoy, Portnoy is just loving that. Soaking it all up.
He had to slid him something under the table to get him.
Had to have. I mean, he subscribes to Barstool for sure. All right, first hour's done. Second hour coming up. Don't go anywhere.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Today at the White House.
I promise you I'm doing everything possible to bring the price of energy down, gas prices down. And I want to make sure we all work on this together.
That was President Biden as he called on Congress to pass a temporary 3-month gas tax holiday. It would lower the price of gas by 18 cents a gallon as well. He's also calling on states to suspend their own gas taxes temporarily. But there's opposition from Republicans in Congress. A new bipartisan gun control bill could pass by the end of the week. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
I hope we'll be able to pass it. I think it's a significant step in the right direction to deal with the two issues that I think it focuses on, school safety and mental health.
In all, 14 Republicans joining with Democrats to advance the bill. Visitors were back as Yellowstone National Park reopened today after destructive floods. This is ABC News.
Thanks, everyone, for baking your way here on this toasty morning. Are you all ready to jam? Excellent. Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing out everything bagel will be discussing. Profit margins are okay, but they could maybe be butter. Sorry, I don't mean to waffle. Next quarter, it's all or muffin. Did you have a question, Sausage Patty?
My name's Patricia.
When you can't take your mind off breakfast, it matters where you stay. Delicious breakfast available at our Hilton family of brands. Hilton, for the stay.
You know when you see a great deal on a phone and then you find out it's not for you? Not at Verizon.
They just gave us all a new iPhone 13.
So we both got the same great deal.
Yep.
Get iPhone 13 on us with select trade-in and 5G unlimited plans for every customer, current, new, everyone, to show the love. Only from Verizon. $799.99, 128 gigabytes only, device payment purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line required. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions apply.
Hey, Braves fan, it's time for baseball, and that means it's time to cheer on the World Series defending champions, the Atlanta Braves, in the 2022 season. Attorney Klein Preston of the Klein Preston Law Group wants you to join him in cheering on the World Series defending champions, the Atlanta Braves, for the start of the 2022 season. Here's to another amazing season for Braves country here on your home for the Atlanta Braves. Nashville Sports Radio.
Dry rub wings are back at Slim Chickens. Fresh, fried, and full of flavor. Like smooth and kickin' cayenne ranch, zesty lemon pepper, or turn it up with new spicy Nashville hot. Try them today with a meal or feed your hungry crowd. But hurry, they're only back for a limited time. At Slim's, bold flavor is what we do. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
The World Champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their World Championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here.
The Braves, live here on Nashville Sports Radio.
Okay,
it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Second hour of the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. Here till 6 o'clock. Then we got some Braves baseball coming up right after us. Always love some Braves baseball. Bruno's a secret fan. That's just what it is in the background.
If you listen to the station a lot, you will hear me talk about Braves baseball. Just know I didn't mean a single bit of it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? That didn't even dawn on me, the irony of that whenever we did
When
it.
we were doing it.
Yeah.
I got, you know how it goes. You get a piece of paper, the big boss. I don't know if you play any.
Put it here.
Yeah.
Say words.
It just goes to show I'm a company man.
You're a company man. You are. That's why Vanderbilt should not do anything to disgrace you, because you're a company man for Vanderbilt, even though
they consistently
disgrace you.
They don't disgrace me, but they would rather just not have me around, I think.
You know, speaking of not having anyone around, PGA Tour just keeps getting towards that, it seems like. I don't know. More and more golfers start heading over. We'll see. But we've been talking about this, I mean, all summer long. It really has become like the main story this summer. I think it might get replaced now with the Dan Schneider stuff for the main story over the summer, sports-wise. But
yeah, especially because, I mean, football over golf, easy.
It's going to happen.
Who's Dan Schneider?
Exactly. Yeah, you want to act like that.
Who is that?
Yeah.
It's Snyder.
What?
It's
I think
Snyder.
Dan Schneider.
It's somebody else.
The Nickelodeon guy.
Yeah, you can say Dan Schneider.
Snyder.
Snyder is the owner.
Hey, Ray, it's my damn show. I'll call it whatever I want, especially that losing team up there in Washington. You can't even figure out their own name. You don't even know if they're the
No, of
Commanders.
course not. There's never been a chance where I've even tried to deny that.
But all the same, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, he has had a lot of words said. He's been, I mean, consistently attacking Live Golf to, I don't know, it's, at first it all started as, this is crazy, nobody's going to do it. Then people started going over to it and going a part of Live Golf, and it was, these people are back, you know, they're traders, they're just washed up golfers that they're going to. Now it's, you know, you're starting to get more and more, you know, top ranked guys. I think, you know, Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka, you're getting more of those guys, top 50 guys in golf worldwide that are starting to join it, and it's becoming a threat. And he's quoted now as saying it's an irrational threat.
Let me be clear. I am not naive. If this is an arms race, and if the only weapons here are dollar bills, the PGA Tour can't compete. The PGA Tour, an American institution, can't compete with a foreign monarchy that is spending billions of dollars in an attempt to buy the game of golf. We welcome good, healthy competition. The Live Saudi Golf League is not that. It's an irrational threat, one not concerned with the return on investment or true growth of the game. Now, I know legacy and purpose sound like talking points that don't mean much. But when I talk of those concepts, it isn't about some sort of intangible moral high ground. It is our track record as an organization and as a sport.
Doesn't it sound like he sounds a little defeated.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to.
This isn't the same rhetoric that we heard a week or two ago.
I just have the thought in my head. And guys, there's no one that loves living in America and being an American more than me. Not you. Not you. You don't love America more than me. Sorry. But here comes the forbidden but. This whole we are the kings of human rights, which we are we're okay for our own citizens as a track record. But I just have trouble in good faith. I can't agree with it. I can see what his argument's coming from. Saudi good. We're American backed. We're good, moral. They're Saudi, foreign, bad. As if, you know, I know what America does. I know what we're capable of on a global policy scale.
Well, and you even look at just the history. I mean, we're very
We're not
pro-American on the show, but there's definitely a bad history at Port.
It's just I can't in good faith get on here and like most other people that are like, we're America, we're moral, we're the best. Everything we do, our crap doesn't stink. Are we recognizable in human rights to the Saudi government? I don't think so. I think, obviously we're miles ahead. Freedom, based on gender, sexuality, we're not even close.
Oh, for sure. Majority of the world too.
I can see the other arguments where people are going to be like, especially, hey, the PGA. I'm glad he's appealing to the Americanism of the PGA. Is every player in the PGA American? No. Do you think they care? Do you think they care? The second he mentions that, do you think they care? They're like, oh yeah, I take great pride in America. A lot of them probably don't.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I think that's an odd appeal for an international league to appeal to the Americanism, which I guess the Saudis are going after. That up until today driving in, I was thinking about it because it's everyone's accusing LIV of sports washing, and I wasn't even bought on that yet. I was like, I don't think it really works. If they were going to sports wash, why are they going after Phil Mickelson? He was hated in America. He was already NWO. But now the more I'm thinking of it, I mean, they're signing a majority American players. That does seem to have sports washing intent to it.
There's a definite, tactic that they're going after.
Yeah.
The bigger names are American. That's the true thing. Now obviously there's big European names, there's big names across every country, but still, majority of media that's taking this, and that seems like the play when you even heard him mention how they don't care about return on investment. They do care about publicity though, and they're going to get more publicity with bigger names.
The most interesting thing about this entire thing to me, and I have not heard a single other person in the media mention it. If they have, please pull them my way, because I want to hear a real nuanced take on it. Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the government of the United States of America are strong allies. I don't know about that. I don't know. Like when I say that, I just don't know.
Genuinely
don't know.
Yeah.
No, they're one of our biggest Middle Eastern allies.
I assume.
Iran is not. Saudi Arabia is. Now, whether that's a product of them buying out our top politicians, Clintons, Bushes, Biden, but they are a partner with the United States government. So when I see the media constant conflict that they're creating, where it's like Saudi Arabia evil, Saudi Arabia evil, Saudi Arabia evil, but our governments work together in that region, that's interesting for me. No one's talking about that conversation. I can't even find anyone giving a nuanced take on it because everyone's taking either the LIV approach, which LIV doesn't even have. That's the thing that's crazy. LIV doesn't even have comments on it. They're just like, we don't care. Money, pop.
They're not. There's literally zero political grandstanding from LIV.
There's the PGA's argument, and then there's whatever else you want to make up for LIV, which is basically what I've been doing because I'm just sick of hearing the same argument from the PGA and every single 90% of golf writers in America. They're like, this is just blatant sports washing. I just want to look deeper into the argument.
The phrase I'm getting tired of is money over morals. I'm getting so you would think these golfers, because it's Koepka who's the most recent one, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen people who are like, oh, I guess he's just taking the money over the morals. Money over the morals. It's not that situation. Brooks Koepka is not going over there to beat people over the head with a 7-iron. I promise you. And by the way, he's only going to play in Saudi Arabia one time. Majority of it's here in the States. But this idea that these guys are being hired by the Saudi Arabian government to come in and push their values and their way of life and all that's not what's happening. All they're doing is playing golf. The golfers have your problems with Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? You can do that. And then also say, oh, these guys just want to get paid $100 million.
Yeah.
That's where I keep hearing it. I keep hearing it. Money over morals. Money over morals. No, they're not bad people. They're not bad people. These golfers are not bad people.
They're not bad people.
They could be But for taking the money to go play golf compared to a competitor golf, they're making less. That's just business.
I do have a vindication towards the journalists that so easily blame them. For one, those journalists are playing their edge because they know that the majority of the audience agrees with the sentiment America good, anybody else bad.
Right.
So they play on that sentiment. You know, that's their
For
play.
clicks and views and shares.
I just know those journalists, dedicated journalists, no matter how good their work in the market. I mean, if you're a journalist that climbs to the top of this field and does the right political moving, you'll make at best $300,000 a year. I think that's the max out I've ever heard of it. Like maybe $500,000 without doing anything else other than writing. That's kind of like your peak. These people will never have $100 million guaranteed contracts put in their face. So it's easy to say, guys, if I had $100 million put in my face right now from the Saudi Arabian government, the king himself, I'm taking that. And my family's living good and well forever for generations. And I think it's silly to act like I wouldn't. I'd be lying to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I go back to that poll where I put up whatever 2-3 weeks ago, however long it was, where it was just putting it into real world dollars. Because let's face it, $100 million check, that's not real world dollars. That's, you know, 0.00000 of the people are going to see those kind of checks and have those kind of opportunities. But when put it to you're making $60,000 a year, it's fine. It's humble. It'll be fine. To do the exact same job somewhere else, you'll get paid $200,000. Exact same job. To work less. We had people on that poll that were adamantly upset. They were like, this is terrible. No, not for that kind of boss, blah, 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 blah. Yet that poll that had hundreds of votes on it was 98% yes. 98%. I mean, all these people are like, no, I hate it. The stats didn't even add up for these people that were getting that mad. So they were saying, I can't believe you would do that. No, that's wrong. And then they were clicking, yes, I would take the job. Because in their head, they're like, yes, I would. You're not evil. That's not evil. If you were going to do evil things with that, yes, okay, that's evil. But if you're just going to play golf, like I doubt Phil Mickelson, maybe Phil, but Brooks or some of these guys, I doubt any of them have met anybody that's actually with
Saudi Arabian government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But none of them have even been to Saudi Arabia. Or maybe they have for the PGA tournament that happens there. for the golf tournament that happens in Saudi Arabia already before all this.
Yeah, you know who has relationships with the Saudis before Live Golf existed? The PGA.
Yeah. It's just the hypocrisy of it. Because wasn't it 4 years ago maybe? I can't remember how long ago it was. But there was a time where PGA was like, nope, these golfers do not work. It's very much like the UFC. These golfers are contracted workers. They're 1099. They do not work for the PGA Tour. And then now the second they're like, oh, okay, I can just go work anywhere? Fine, I'm going to go there. Well, how dare you? It's just the hypocrisy of it is so rich. And I don't know. I see it all the time on Twitter, though. Money over morals. Money over morals. It's not. They're not. If Phil Mickelson was going over there to behead people, sure. There you go. He's getting paid to be immoral. But he's going to Saudi Arabia one time, then he's been in London once watching our show right before bedtime. And then he's going to the U.S. like 5 or 6 times. And then there's one more somewhere else that I can't remember where it is. I think Guadalajara. No, that was a soccer thing. Never mind. Guadalajara. But it was somewhere else that wasn't Saudi Arabia that he was going to play, and then that's it. They're just playing golf. And the PGA Tour, I think right now, just like we were hearing with Jay Mahonahan, was that I think they're starting to get to a side of grasping at straws to try to keep them in, try to keep anything they can because they can't keep up. They're not going to be able to keep up with the money. They're not going to. They're going to get bled dry trying to go into an arms race, just like he said. And that is a failure of business. I do not have to have sympathy for you failing at your job. I don't have to have sympathy for that. Figure out a way to get the money. There's ways. I don't know how. Figure it out.
Yeah, it's not our job.
Not our job. It is 100% his job. So for him to come out and just start bashing all these golfers, I can't believe it. Because he's gone out and directly talked bad about these golfers And, I think it's appalling that he's done that. I think it's appalling that he's constantly doing it. And you look at the USGA, who is not with the PGA. They're having the 150th Open here soon. Guess who's allowed to play in that? Live golfers. They're all allowed to, just like the U.S. Open. They're going to be able to play in it. So you're the odd person out here. You're the odd person out that doesn't want these golfers to golf for the I would be happier, Bruno, if they just said, look, they're competition and we're wanting to not lose to the competition. You know what? Fine.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't blame you. But this whole, jumping down the throats and saying that these guys are just, terrible people for taking the money. No. An irrational threat. That's what he called it. An irrational threat. But yeah, it's just
a surface level argument. If you want to talk, hey, I mean, these players doing this, understandable. But from a long-term perspective, these leagues are going to lose quality. The game's going to lose quality. And I would say that's just, that's a failure of the system itself. We allow the PGA to be uncompetitive, like they're no competitor up until, blank checks. If you can blank check any sport, I guess. Sure. I guess what are we going to do about it? But it's on an international scale.
I'll tell you who needs to be careful right now is all the golfers that are going out saying that they're not going to go to Live. They're going to stay with the PGA Tour. They got to be careful because you're great. You may not be getting contacted yet by them. Like you may not get contacted just now, but you might get a check that comes through for $150 million, and they're like, "Do you want to come play with us?" And then what are you going to sit there and sit on your high horse and say, "Nope, I already said I'm staying with the PGA Tour to make literally 100 times less money." They're the ones that need to be careful right now. Because there's plenty of them. They're like, nope, never gonna leave. I don't know if I don't know if some of these guys have the gonads to hold on to not take that money.
Yeah,
that's the ones that gotta really watch out right now. They should. If you get asked, I would turn the question away. Go to some other topic. Talk about some charity work that you just did. get out of it.
It's not even just just golf anymore. I mean, it's boxing now. I think Anthony Joshua and Olsk are about to fight, and they're going to have a fight in Saudi Arabia, and they're basically bought out. They're going to get more money for it. And a reporter asked Anthony Joshua about, hey, how do you feel about getting sports washed? And he goes, I love the Saudis. He was like, they're cool with me. Yeah,
because he's about to get $500 million to go box one match, and he's going to ride off in the sunset, being tall, athletic, jacked, and super rich. And he was already super rich. Now he's going to be really rich. He's going to make more money than Tyson Fury. And he doesn't deserve it.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Anthony Joshua does not deserve it. This is the first fight he said he's going into with a game plan. He does not deserve it.
You know who was smart?
Who?
Dana White was smart. He's like, I'm going to get in with the Saudis first before they make a fight league, and then just say, hey, we'll give health care to everybody. And that'll be enough to get the entire UFC roster over there. We're going to talk about some UFC when we come back too. That's been going on. There more big business fights. See, it's unfair for the UFC group because they can't. Those guys can't run to a Saudi league because they're already in the Saudi league. The UFC's just like, look, just let us handle all of it for you. Don't worry, you don't have to spend any money on it. Do whatever you want. We'll have some fights over here for y'all next y'all's Lamborghini land or whatever they have over there. It's crazy. 615-844-5600 if you want to jump in. We want to hear from you. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
If you want to spend quality time outdoors with your family, coworkers, employees, or friends, nothing beats a guided fishing trip. Since 2004, Brian Carper's Guide Service has offered trips on Percy Priest, Old Hickory, and Center Hill Lakes and is the top-rated guide service in Middle Tennessee. Brian Carper's Guide Service offers bass boat and pontoon trips for all sizes with 4, 6, and 8-hour trips available for bass, crappie, and hybrids. All equipment plus water and snacks are provided, and they'll even clean your catch for free. Check out Brian Carper's Facebook page or call 615-801-2408. That's 615-801-2408. And online at briancarper.com.
Great news from Rocket Mortgage. You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In fact, in the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock all that cash in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up, because nobody knows how long these low rates will last. Put your hard-earned money to work. Make your life better. Build a home office. Remodel your kitchen. Or simply save that cash for a rainy day. Today's rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.25%, 3.48% APR, so you can lock in a great low monthly payment. When you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Summer is in full swing and the deals are heating up at Lowe's. Find 4th of July savings to keep your yard looking healthy the whole season. Protect your soil from the heat with a bag of Scott's Naturescapes mulch, now 3 for $10. And celebrate the 4th with our select 2.5-quart red, white, and blue annuals, 2 for $10. Find more savings this 4th of July at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid 6/23 through 7/6 while supplies last. Annuals offer in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Get all your NASCAR news every weekday right here on the Final Lap. Hey, it's Kerry Murphy, and on Father's Day weekend, Todd Gilliland won for his father's race team, David Gilliland Racing. How fitting was that? Up next, the Cup Series is in action from Nashville. So grab all the latest NASCAR news, race recaps, driver reviews, stats, and info every single weekday right here. And be sure to check out our 1-hour NASCAR talk show wherever you get your podcasts. Every single weekday right here.
Back on air, your fearless host, Bruno Reagan. Even more fearless producer, Ray Dosky.
Fearless producer? I like it.
Cowards. Cowards surrounded by everywhere. Roy McElroy, I mean, he's calling the live traders cowards, essentially. I call my co-host, Zach Williams, a coward. John Burton, even more so. At least I can handle Zach.
So they're in good company together.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
You are a coward.
Ah.
I was just practicing my monologues for my week alone.
Oh, yeah, week alone. It's coming up.
I'm very excited for it. Alone, quote unquote, but.
Yeah. I mean, without me being here.
Yeah.
Essentially alone. Ray's always here. Ray, actually, I don't know if he leaves the building. He's here when I get here, and he's here when I leave.
I'll take one of the back rooms if you just let me put my computer back there. But I couldn't stay quiet during the other shows.
That's the big part. All right, hey, let's talk about UFC because that's what Bruno likes. Let's get Bruno back engaged in the conversation here. Dana White is clapping back at Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is begging for a release because he wants to go fight people like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whoever. In those giant boxing matches that make all the money for them. Dana White's not going to let him out, though.
I would have to wonder. Nate is one of the guys who I think his contract probably would be bigger than a Jake Paul payout. I'm not sure why. Listen, it's no secret. Nate. I mean, the field has outclassed Nate for a while now. Nate and Jorge Masvidal are two guys I have no idea why people love watching. I mean, for that clip where he did rock Leon Edwards, who is a title contender right now, will be the next one to fight Kamaru Usman. I mean, Nate just got pieced up for 23 and a half minutes straight. It was about as boring as a fight could get. Nate has been one of the trailblazers of the sport. He was on one of the first toughs. He was on Brock Lesnar's tough. But he's just so outclassed now. I mean, his high volume, like, he doesn't even get these 5-round. He's not going to get any more 5-round fights because he's on like he's like won one of his last 5 fights anyways. Why would we keep putting this guy in the co-main event? He's one of the UFC's gimmicks at this point. They've run out of things to do with him other than maybe a Conor return, which
would bring a crap.
Nate's
ton of
been
money.
offered fights. That's why everyone's
was offered Poirier, but the young guy who's been destroying everybody, Hamzat, yes, he'd been offering him, and he denied that because he was like, he's a rookie, he doesn't deserve to fight me at my stage that I'm at right now.
Dude.
And I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to fight him either. That guy would destroy Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
And it's just for sure.
Nate, hey, you want to know who else would destroy Nate Diaz?
Pretty much all the rest of the roster.
Jake Paul.
In a boxing match.
I think Jake Paul would absolutely destroy Nate Diaz. Jake Paul would keep it 7 or 8 rounds, so Nate Diaz can't, just throw volume at him at the end and steal a win. I mean, Nate's a tank. He just does. He also hits like a feather.
So he put out a tweet. His tweet said, UFC release now, please, or give me fight with anyone in July or August.
Hey, he's not going to be anybody. No, he'll turn down. I don't know who else will fight. I mean, I think McGregor's the only fight he'd really do, which McGregor's being called out by absolutely everybody. Oliveira, Jorge Masvidal. Of course, everyone wants that money fight, quote unquote.
Dana White replied. He was at a conference in Salt Lake City, and he said, I don't know what we're going to do. I like Nate, but let's be honest, Nate has won one fight in 5 or 6 years. Yeah. When these guys get into these positions, you have guys who have been with us for a long time that we respect and care about. You want to be fair and do the right thing. Whatever. Nate Diaz is not going to come in and fight Kamaru Usman. We're trying to do the best we can, trying not to crap on anybody or disrespect anybody. He probably should go on and fight Jake Paul. That makes the most sense.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Just talking about respect, being fair, and then just gives him an absolute dig at the end. They're not going to release Nate Diaz. Hey, you know who else they're not going to release? George St. Pierre or anybody else. They're not going to. No one's getting released. Nate Diaz. We could have seen the last of Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz doesn't have to fight if he doesn't want to. The UFC's not going to release him. Why would the UFC release him out of the goodness of their heart? They're never going to do that.
After hearing that, Diaz replied on Twitter saying, "Send the release." That's all he said. Send the release.
I mean, hey, that's never going to happen, Nate.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell if Nate.
Why is it they want to hold these guys?
Why wouldn't they? I mean, you get a Ben Askren, you release him because you want to, I don't even know why. I don't even know why they release some of the guys with fights still on their contracts.
Yeah.
I wonder what the UFC contract looks like. Say that you have a guy like Ben Askren gets knocked out, and you don't like him anymore. You quote unquote would release him, but why not just keep him basically under contract with fights on him and just never offer him a fight? I wonder what the legality of that is with the UFC. We need to get someone who's
about that life. No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
Because George can't do any of these boxing matches. He's still under contract with the UFC.
Yeah,
and they're never going to release him.
He makes like what, $300,000 a year or something like that.
I mean, no, it's not salaried. You have to fight to get the money.
I thought they get paid like what's his name gets paid? Iceman, Chuck Liddell. Doesn't he get
he's
like money?
Employed by the UFC.
He's employed.
Yeah, for some basically, I'm sure, a shadow role, because Dana loved the Iceman. Loved him, especially for knocking out Tito, his old arch nemesis.
Yeah. It's funny though. Listen to what Dana White said there at the beginning of that. I like Nate, but let's be honest. Nate has won one fight in 5 or 6 years.
Nate's not a top 15 fighter.
Take that away. Take Nate Diaz's name out of it. That's Conor McGregor. He beat Cowboy.
Yeah, but Conor and Nate aren't this.
They're not on the same money spectrum for sure.
No.
And that's what, at the end of the day, it's not about the fights. It's about the money they bring in. I think Nate could still bring in good money.
But the problem is now we know how much the UFC is making in revenue. Like, after the dust is settled, they're making over $1 billion. After expenses, they're making that. Do you think a Nate Diaz versus Volk doesn't pull that many pay-per-views? We'll probably get a good 200.
Boring champion. No one cares.
200, 300K at the best for a Volk card versus a Nate card. If Nate sells well against someone else who sells well, maybe 600K to 800K. What do those buys differentiate? Is it worth, keeping a guy like Nate on the roster and dealing with his antics? Not really. The UFC doesn't. I wish I could ask Dana. I wish I had Dana White and I could ask him, hey, one time I heard you say, quote, "We live and die by the pay-per-views," and that wasn't even a year ago, and it's clear you don't.
Oh, no. It's been clear that way. I mean, ever since the ESPN deal, they make $700 million a year just off that if they provide the fights. And I I think Dana White's always going to shell out and just frankly, I think lie about some of these things because he's head of the business, man. That's what he's going to do. You know, it's the same thing like Jay Monahan coming out for the PGA Tour, saying the thing. He's going to say everything he can to try to make the PGA Tour on the right side. Same with Roger Goodell, not answering any of those questions. He's going to do anything he can to make sure the NFL is covered and on the right side of the argument. So that's what's just going to happen. Let's change up the subject here a little bit. Did you see? Well, we all talked about this. We talked about this on Thursday. Nashville not getting in a bid for the World Cup to host the World Cup. Well, this is now giving people to take shots at Nashville because Nashville, of course, has been the sports city, I would say, for maybe the last 5 years, 6 years, something like that.
Not true.
You don't think so?
You think this is the sports city?
Growing, like going up, yeah, it had been for sure. Ever since the Preds got into the Stanley Cup, it gotten more popular. Not only that, on top of people wanting to visit Nashville for all their bachelorette, whatever reason, it was definitely popular. I mean, teams would come here for a Titans game because they're going to make a whole week out of being in Nashville to watch the Titans play, but they're going to watch their team play the Titans. Do you disagree with that?
I think that's a different thing. I think we're becoming a giant tourist city.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I mean, though.
We're not the sports city. I think Nashville's losing its soul, baby.
But that's what. We're arguing the same argument here because I'm saying the exact same thing. I'm just saying the people want to come here to watch their favorite team play sports because then they get a weekend to stay in Nashville, which is what they all want to do. But regardless, that's been a whole thing that's been going on over in Sports Radio 610 in Kansas City. Carrington Harrison. He went on and just started like crapping on all the cities that missed out that were supposed to get it. He went on and said Nashville unfortunately wasn't selected. Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans, would have been the venue. Harrison said Nashville was just trying to emulate Kansas City. Nashville wants to be Kansas City so bad they thought this was their opportunity. They think they're the soccer capital of the United States of America. This is where was their time to show up. Nashville believes that they are you, Kansas City, talking to his own fan base. Well, you know what FIFA said? Not so fast, my friend.
Dude, I don't even care about Nashville like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't. First of all, that guy, very cringe. Second, if I ever become like that, shoot me in the face. Second of all, I love Missouri, love St. Louis, love Kansas City. For the little time that I've been around there for multiple different reasons.
You love St. Louis, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I like Kansas City too.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there, it was like 20 degrees. There was fog everywhere. I felt like
flat.
Very flat.
I mean, it felt dystopian. It felt like if there was a nuclear holocaust, I could at least be here and the bombs wouldn't hit anywhere here because it's not a target. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? You ever play the Fallout video games where it's like, boom, boom, boom. It's like the Great War happened, and then humanity has to survive in the wasteland. Kansas City would be perfectly intact. Why would they attack? There's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? They have a big, cool stadium. The Chiefs have great history. The Royals, they're right beside the Chiefs trying to leech off of them. 100%. I've been seeing those facilities right beside each other is hilarious.
It's cool how they have it, though. You have to admit it's cool.
No, it is.
It's pretty cool.
It is all right.
Look, Lamar Hunt's big with the MLS, obviously. It's the whole birth reason of the MLS.
I don't think, does Nashville think they're the capital of soccer in the United States?
Well,
does Kansas City believe they're the national capital? Sorry.
Yeah, I think, I would say Kansas City has more of a right of that compared to Nashville because of Lamar Hunt, who pretty much brought the MLS to the United States and
I just think Nashville
owns the Chiefs.
Nissan Stadium's in absolute horror condition.
No, for sure.
Why would anybody bring the international picture? And the Chiefs Stadium is beautiful. That's what it comes down to.
Where's the soccer team play at?
They don't play. They play in
Arrowhead.
No, they don't play in Arrowhead, do they? They don't. Sporting KC. They have their own facility. It's called something, and I can't remember the name of it. It just built it within the last few years. Something Sportsplex, it's like a children's hospital Sportsplex or something. That's where Sporting KC plays. I don't know the exact name of it because not in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean every
But Nashville got the new soccer stadium.
Midwestern people, I got a lot of respect for them. They got a lot of pride, but there are people that drink the juice too much, don't get out of their bubble that much. I mean, you just eventually turn into that guy on local sports radio.
Well, and I don't blame them either. it's not like he's talking to, he's talking to tens of people.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. He's talking to a bunch of Missourians, Kansas Cityans, Kansas Cityites, whatever you would say. What else is he supposed to say? I really like Nashville a whole lot more than Kansas City. He's not going to be able to come out and say that. He's like, I love the Power and Light District in Kansas City.
I mean, it just says a lot for a city when, you have the people who represent you and influence you on a platform. You're one of 30 places selected, and you do a victory lap, and you're just like, you don't know how to act.
It was big for them. It was a really big moment for them. And it was a really bad moment for Nashville. I still agree. But
no, it wasn't.
We
dodged a bullet. God.
Why?
You think, talking from a practical standpoint, I'm not even going to act like this was a bad thing. You really want that traffic driving home after FIFA week? Do you, Zach?
I would have liked to go to one World Cup in my life, yeah. And it being in my backyard.
Hey, the World Cup.
I'll sacrifice it
the
for
World
a
Cup,
week.
The World Cup was not going to be in Nashville, and it's not going to be in Kansas City. Don't be crazy.
Still, though, it's we're literally in sports radio. It only helps. I'm not even going to listen to you on this anymore because it only helps in sports radio, and that's what we do. We talk sports radio sometimes. Other times we talk about Fallout or.
You really? Hey.
The traffic is going to suck. Hey, guess what? The traffic's going to suck without it. We already live in that world. Traffic's already bad. I'm already late for wherever I got to go after this because I know the traffic's bad.
Do you think, even for a second, anyone in this city, if America doesn't make it into the final tournament bracket, is going to care about what's going on? There will be a small sect.
Yeah, there's going to be people from maybe whatever the area
of football fans coming, but no one, if America's not in it, no one in America's going to care. We'll get an international crowd here, which, by the way, hide your eyes, journalists, ESPN journalists, because you're going to cry after you see how passionate these people are. You thought Tennessee throwing mustard on the field was bad. I mean,
oh God.
ESPN.com.
Someone could have been killed.
Black Nashville. That's what it would have been called. Nissan Stadium. Night of the Black Knives, Nashville. The Nashville Knives Night. There was a soccer fan.
Stabbings went up 400%.
Boy, blimey, mate.
What do they call those? Hooligans? Isn't that what they called it up there?
I don't know.
I think they're called hooligans in London.
Is that what? Just a fan? That's what that's called?
Well, like for the people that get into the fights and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah. I've heard they say that doesn't happen anymore, but I also don't believe that. We'll see.
Who says that? The league?
Them there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're just like, tourists, we need tourists to come back. So, no, that doesn't exist. But really, it does. Who knows? I have no idea. I haven't watched the BBC. How am I supposed to know?
I just don't think it was that big. I think Nashville hosting the NFL draft was a bigger deal than for.
Oh, no. I just think anything one time for Nashville. I think anything one time, getting it one time, just keeps growing and growing and growing.
If anything, I'm thinking of the greater good for Nashville because I don't want anybody in the international stage seeing that stadium, Nissan Stadium.
Ray, did you ever find out what stadium they play at? Sporting KC?
Yeah, Child Mercy Park.
That's what it is, Child Mercy Park. Yeah. Arrowhead's cool, though.
Yeah, very cool.
Arrowhead's a cool stadium. I mean, and I think a lot of it, too, I was talking to somebody about this. Tons of parking there. Here in Nashville? Nissan Stadium?
Hey, I'll tell you what.
None.
When people get drafted to Nashville and the Titans, they go, "Oh, sweet." You want to know what the top dogs when they get sent to KC, they think they turn into Travis Kelce every single time. No, not Kansas City.
Miami was awarded one, right?
Yes,
and that's unfortunate because Miami came after Nashville SC. But I understand the demographic, being down south.
Yeah, it just is what it is, man. Nashville just didn't get it. Did you see the announcement parties, the reaction? Because all these had the announcement. They were like hosting little parties for all of them. I didn't see if Nashville was having one. I never heard anything about it, at least.
I didn't hear anything about it either.
But I saw like the reactions. They had one in Kansas City. They had one in Miami. They had one, all the places that got it. They showed the reaction of them being announced by FIFA that they're going to be going to their city. I didn't see anything with Nashville.
Because the people who own houses here and quote-unquote live here don't live here.
Yeah, they were doing it in like Houston.
It would have been a giant Zoom call.
All right, we need to run to a break. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props, game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook, you can combine prop bets from multiple games, now even multiple sports. It's called Same Game Parlay Plus, and you can only find them at FanDuel. Combine player props you love with your favorite baseball home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. Let's say maybe you don't want to build your own. No problem. Check out their popular same-game parlays where you can join the other bets users are jumping in on. If you're new to FanDuel, just sign up, use the promo code BKING. Get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use that promo code BKING.
21 and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Dealing with ED is difficult enough, but the pressure of not satisfying your partner makes it even worse. ED can be tough on a relationship, but at HIMSS, you can contact a medical provider online and, if appropriate, get the prescription medication that treats ED at affordable prices. HIMSS ED medication has the same active ingredients as Viagra, but because it's generic, you pay 90% less. That's right, 90% less. A whole month's supply is just $30, and it's sent right to your home for free in discreet packaging. HIMSS offers the same medication you'd get from your doctor, but without the copay, expensive appointments, or awkward face-to-face conversations. And with HIMSS, every online visit is free, and your relationship right back on track. For a free online consultation, go to forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free visit. forhims.com/joy.
Quinn Stained Glass Repair and Restoration says good driving habits aren't furnished with a driver's license. You must acquire them by using good judgment and common sense behind the wheel. So don't drink when you drive. The life you save may be your own. This message is from the crew at Quinn Stained Glass Repair and Restoration, your stained glass experts serving the Nashville area, specializing in new construction, repairs and restoration, residential and commercial. Give Butch a call at 615-308-3447. Quinn Stained Glass Repair and Restoration, wishing everyone a safe 4th of July and summer season.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR Skyscam forecast throughout the afternoon. Sunny and hot, high of 99. Heat index making that feel like 102. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms before midnight tonight. Partly cloudy, low 70s, and sunny on Thursday, high of 92. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on Nashville Sports Radio. I'm WNSR's Joe Gardner.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600 is the number. We want to hear from you. Final segment, by the way, if you want to get involved. So you got to hurry up pretty quick. We got Braves baseball coming up after we are done here. Braves taking on the Giants tonight, keeping that series going right now. Give you a Klein Preston Law Group Braves update. Braves right now are 39-30 right now on their season. Once again, getting ready to host the San Francisco Giants, coming off of a 12-10 loss. Unfortunately, that 14-game win streak got snapped against the Cubs, and then they right after that they lose that one next to it. They go on to win the next two, Cubs and then Giants to start the series, and they lose against the Giants. Once again, Giants taking on tonight Atlanta Braves, still second in the NL East currently right now. Klein Preston Law Group, be a Braves sponsor on the station all season long, so you hear the Klein Preston Law Group Braves update every week here on Nashville Sports Radio. Ray Dosky, you have some questions that you're wanting to ask us.
Yes, I'm going to ask you a few little brain busters. Not a trivia question, but brain busters. I got two of them.
Two.
One should be fairly easy. The other one might get you. The first one is, what is two things you can't have for breakfast?
Lunch and dinner.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the second one I already know, right?
No, it's another one.
Good.
The second one is what word in the dictionary is spelled incorrectly?
Incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it, Ray?
The word is incorrectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's it.
Hey, Ray. Not 10 years old.
Okay, should I, Bruce, should I give him the one I asked you then?
Yeah, give me one. Yeah, because this was before the show started.
Yeah. So Bruno already knows this one. So, like, you and your dad, God forbid. I mean, you and your dad.
You and your father
are actually flying, and the plane crashes.
Uh-huh.
Okay? You are rushed to the emergency room.
Yes.
And a surgeon comes in and sees you and says that I cannot operate on you.
The doctor's the mother.
He's seen all of them.
Hey, Ray. Good try, though, you know? I could have let you go. Hey, what about this one? Here you go. Here's one.
Okay.
You have 15 cents. One of them is not a nickel. The other is a dime. What kind of coins do you have?
Wait, what was it again?
You have 15 cents.
Okay.
The two coins the coins that you have are not. One of them is not a nickel. The other one is a dime. What's the other one?
It's a nickel and dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one, the one is the dime, and the other one's I think I said it wrong, but still.
Well, the second you said what two coins do you have, I was like, all right, you just gave it away.
Yeah, I think I gave it away. I was just pulling that out of my hat right there. Those,
all right.
Those were like really popular in elementary.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No.
You know, I thought you said all right, like you had one. I didn't know if you had. I thought he was about to pull one out.
I was like, oh, here comes one, Bruno.
No, I have the answers. I don't have any questions though.
Well then, you know what that means? Time to jump into another summer fun today in sports history.
Today in sports history.
Oh,
1950 golf, 1940 golf, 1930 golf. That was our day one experience with this new segment.
It really was.
Don't forget about 1941 baseball.
Yeah, that was happening as well. How about 1981? John McEnroe's famous "You cannot be serious" rant and first round win over Tom Gulkelson at Wimbledon happened today.
Wow.
1981.
And they're about to start on Monday.
Yes.
Isn't that the year you were born? 81?
No. 93.
93, sorry.
Jeez.
Ray, you're the old one, not me.
Yes. And I guess I just showed my age there. So showed my age there.
Let's see. What else happened today? June 22nd. Not a ton here. 1990, MLB Atlanta Braves replaced manager Russ Nixon with general manager Bobby Cox. Ended up working out pretty well for the Braves.
Wow, what is today? Today, June
22nd.
This is the worst day in sports history. Nothing happened.
1994.
Okay.
NBA championship belongs to who, Ray Dosky?
19 what?
1994. This is right in your alley. I'm 1 year old at this point. The team beat the Knicks.
Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets.
Back to back, right?
Yep. 1994, Ken Griffey Jr. breaks Babe Ruth's record for most home runs by the end of June. He hit 31 home runs in 1 month.
My favorite player.
The kid. Nobody has a better baseball swing.
Oh, it's so
Nobody
pretty.
does.
So pretty.
Nobody has a better baseball swing. I owned one of those like hit well things, you know, it's like the thing. It was like the hit trainer that taught you how to hit exactly like him. Let's see. 2009 U.S. Open men's golf, Bethpage State Park. Lucas Glover wins his only major title, 2 strokes ahead of runners-up Ricky Barnes, David Duvall, and the newest, or not the newest, but the face of Live Golf, Phil Mickelson.
Wow. Hey, all this talk about Live Golf, I just want to put on the record, golf and baseball are in the same realm for me. And frankly, that's all that happens in the summer. I got to find out one of these sports I like. I got to get out on the range.
Golf is fun.
Soccer's not your speed. You're from Bolivia. Well, your
racist.
family is.
That's racist.
No,
right?
no.
You're assuming gender.
South America. No, I'm not. See, you're taking it there.
race,
You took it there, radio guy. You took it there.
Yeah, you like soccer?
No.
No.
No, too fat to play.
Yeah,
it.
you're too big for soccer. It would look weird.
Yeah.
You'd probably kick the hell out
So
of
you
the
have to,
ball,
in order
though.
for you to like it, you have to play it. Is that am I hearing that right?
I'll say this with golf. That did happen for me.
Hey man, I stayed in New York with like 6 Brazilians in their apartment, and they're watching their favorite club play for the championship that night. And I was like, I'll never love anything more than these guys love this sport. I'll never love anything. I'll never love my future wife or kids as much as they love football at that moment.
Yeah, I for me, golf, until I started playing golf, I didn't like golf. I didn't have an appreciation for it, but now that I actually like play, and
I'm probably very talented at golf. I guarantee if I go out there and do like one round and beat you both the first time I touch the clubs, I'll be like, this is awesome.
I look, I'm not much of a competition, so
Ray
yeah, you could be Ray for sure. Because I never liked golf at the beginning, and then I played it, and I still don't like golf.
Ray's
Ray's
gonna quit after 9.
I did quit after 9.
Yeah,
I'm like, I jacked my wrist because I did man.
I'll tell you, we probably shouldn't have took you to that course. Probably should have went to another course.
No, you guys did tell me like days leading up to it. You're like, maybe like Adam was like, don't go. He was giving me pointers here, and I'm like, Adam, there's no chance.
It's
dude.
just
I am done.
That course isn't hard. It's just if you're doing really bad, that course really wears on you.
It catches up on you
Yeah,
really quick.
That one really
sneaks up on you.
We'll go. We need to go. Bruno, I need to get you out there, and we need to
Just
play.
go to a driving
we always
range.
say this. Hey, we're never going anywhere, you and me. We always say
We go places.
No, we don't.
Every once in a while, gone to eat a couple times.
We've been doing the show a year. It's been like twice.
Well, you were also gone for like 5 months.
This is true.
To be fair,
We're gonna go out before we kick off the NFL season. There's that.
yeah, we'll have that. We're gonna do more going.
Dude,
out
Ray's
things.
always-
I beat you in bowling, that's for sure. But then you beat me one time at T-Line.
I'm about to say, I kind of was going crazy out there.
T-Line, I don't know what was going on. I love the folks over at T-Line. Great sponsors of the show.
And by the way, he was saying Ray always wants to go out. Yes.
Ray does always want to go out.
I'm in Miami.
Yeah, no, that's
New
true.
York.
He wants a reason to put on his LA hat. All right, we're done today. Braves, Giants coming up here in just a moment. Stay here. Don't want to miss it. Thank you so much if you called in, commented, watched it, however you did. We greatly appreciate it. Remember, if nobody's ever told you I love you and you matter, have a great night. We'll see you guys tomorrow here on Nashville Sports Radio.